Pew. Pew. I seriously apologize for such a long intro. But yeah. Your mom's an odd choice for a Ukraine stream. You know what? Look, I want to be serious with this. We actually have a decent amount of stuff to go through. So y'all are gonna see some stuff that's probably gonna get me kicked off of YouTube for at least a week. It's not gonna be pretty, but this is the reality of war. It's the reality of what's going on in Ukraine, and this is the reality of what is going on in, you know, not just Ukraine, but multiple parts of the world. We can't forget about the Middle East, Africa, South America, even on our borders, and just, you know, our streets in the United States of America. So please do keep an open mind and just take this in. I'm not going to show a lot of the like gruesome things. I'm going to put links in the chat to help people out, or I'll send them to Mango, and she'll put the links in the chat, and you guys can watch them on your own. But it's not going to be pretty. So I'm gonna give you one more song. I honestly, I'm just gonna. I wish I could stream the Bayraktar song, but I can't because they always copyright strike me and take my streams down. So I'm gonna play one more song and clean off my whiteboard and redo it, because this is not gonna be a fun stream. So anybody that wants to stay here, stand by all means, let me know. Oh my god, just give me my fucking fingerprint. It's my fingerprint. And the Stream Elements bot is running. Hopefully it doesn't dip out as well. So let me play one more song by given to us by our good friend Widow's Son, and we'll play this. I'll be right back.
Listen up, you stinking maggots! It seems you just don't get it! Well, I've been appointed to inform you! Your days are numbered! You would cry, you would scream if you knew half the things I see! Please, please, just do as I say! Repent and leave your evil ways! Meanwhile, planes drop from the sky! People disappear and bullets fly! Little gray men are coming our way! Tastes just like chicken, they say. Actually, they're all around. Secret bunkers underground. Round them up, skin them alive. Rollin', 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 right. Carter is a clone. Dozen brothers round the globe. Now take 12 down dust to hell. Scrolling king, skeleton bone. It's only just begun. The best is yet to come. Area 51, the spawn of Babylon. Couldn't give a damn about JFK. Everything's conspiracy. Wouldn't be surprised if they had their way. Seems just like chicken, they say. I know it's hard to swallow. It must sound too far-fetched, but you can bitch about $1. I ain't going with the rest. Judgments, I went walking out that door. I smiled at one person, then I nodded 2, 3 more. One man asked me for $1. I asked him what it's for. He said, I have seen them. I said, okay, it's yours. And that's featured on the MTV. local high school lets out and the town becomes anarchy. Bodies are crass, skin marks are measured. There's stories in the paper, you may read it at your leisure. Get up! Eject! Escape from the prison planet! Get up! Eject! Escape from the prison planet! And to the tune of $1 billion, I supply to the DOE some tasty little nuggets of alien technology. And as one might expect, I've been harassed for years. The men in black have been bending my ear. As a matter of fact, they were just here today, but I escaped them to a sea.
Fucking ass, fuck, shit, fuck. Well, this is going well. Anyway, so I appreciate everybody for being here for the Ukraine stream. Mango, just Skits Crasher, you didn't go deaf. All right. No, maybe you did. Go to the VA. Anyway, you'll get results in 4 to 6 months. Anyway, I just had to clean off my whiteboard because I was just like, oh shit, I didn't clean off my whiteboard, which I was supposed to do, but instead I was listening to music. What music was I listening to? Oh, Taylor Swift and Carmen. Yes, that's true. It's 100%. That's why I'm looking into the camera. Totally. That's exactly what I was listening to. So, anyway, let's watch some combat footage. Now, I want to reiterate, this is going to get pretty graphic. So, please keep in mind that this is a stream about war and the realities of war. He says. So the realities of war. Now, to give you an update, here's something we have been seeing over and over again in Ukraine. The Russians, who are the red, and anybody that's been in the military knows what a blue force tracker is. A blue force tracker, the blue force is you. It is you, and the red force is whoever is the enemy. You also have like green, yellow, etc. forces, but the blue force tracker tracks whoever is in here. And right now, one of the big areas that we have is Bakhmut. So Bakhmut it's basically being taken over. It's being surrounded. What's happening is the Russians are doing the Russian military tactic of just encircling an area in order to either get their enemy to surrender or to kill them. And honestly, it's a tactic. It happens like but it seems to be the main tactic of the Russian military. And if you guys are interested, yes, this is actually like this is a common tactic of the Russian military. We actually talked about it before when they were going to more areas in the north, and the Russians were actually pushing in, but they were losing more forces, so they weren't able to do these surrounding tactics that we have down here in that's not Bakhmut. Well, we have, I mean, it's the same one. Ah, there it is. All right, they didn't have they had the same tactics, but they don't have the same resources that they can actually surround the city in. And granted, what they're trying to do is cut off any route of escape. That way, for the Ukrainian forces can't get out of Bakhmut, and they either have to die or surrender. I'm gonna put some links into the chat later on, and you're gonna see how hard these fighters fight. And if you ever come across the crackheads and the crackhead spy games, yeah, trust me, the people that you will see, I'll explain it later. But what's going on, Sunshine? Buy some pickles. Still have tons of pickles for you guys. But it's distracting from all of this. But the Ukrainians are attempting to get out, and you can see by the artillery strikes, because these are what these are army shelled, Russian army shelled. So these are artillery strikes. They're not missile strikes. They're artillery strikes that are coming out of it, and you can see this supply line. This is a main route. So these soldiers and civilians are trying desperately to simply get out of this area that is surrounded by the Russian army. And as you can see all of these artillery strikes and these offensives with the little AK symbols. They're trying to actually surround the area, and this is a major area that they can swallow up. And if they swallow up that area, then they have somewhat of a strategic advantage. However, they don't really have that much of a strategic advantage if you look at the entire area. It's just one small part. And mind you, there have been like supposedly around 150, allegedly 150,000 casualties of Russian soldiers, and they have mobilized 300,000 more. And Mango, if you could send me the Ryan Macbeth video on Russian mobilization, I can he can explain it a whole hell of a lot better than I can. Because yeah, you can mobilize these soldiers, but it's not like you just put more people out there. You have to do a lot more. You have to train them, you have to clothe them, you have to feed them. There's so much more that goes into it, and it's not going to help this. And this is 1 year into them trying to capture this entire country. And for anybody that wants to say it's the Ukraine and not Ukraine, no, it's Ukraine. It is not the Ukraine. It is a sovereign nation. So get that through your fucking heads. The Russians are trying to obtain an entire nation, and for Russia to be unable to do that, and the entire world to come together and be like, no, you're not gonna fucking do that. It's actually it's promoting a world war. The only thing that has to happen is for to like kind of pull it into a full on like world war would be for China to actually just step up and take a side. Right now, China is just like, yeah, well, we're just gonna secretly give weapons to the Russians, which is exactly what the United States did to the UK and Europe during World War II. And then all of a sudden, we got attacked, and the United States was just like, no. We're gonna pump out one battleship every 10 hours. Go fuck yourself. And then we fucked the entire world. Yes, we did. Yeah, we did. Look. United States fucked the entire world. Did we fuck ourselves? Yeah, because our fucking dick wrapped around the entire world until we fucked ourselves. But, if China actually takes a side, then we have a huge issue, because China's ambition is more towards Taiwan, and Taiwan is a small island nation, and China's already been literally building their own islands so that they can have air bases and shit like that. And it's a whole confuction that, if I wanted to get into it, we could sit here for, I don't know, 17 hours a day for 17 days, and then we could all explain it. But from the last time that, who's texting me? What did you say? Am I muted? No. Good. Oh god. Sorry. Hold on. Go to live. Are you fucking kidding me? Sorry, my thumb has a big ass slice in it. Pickles. No to pickles? Excuse me? Do you want to be on camera? Do you want to talk about Ukraine? You don't? You want to talk about Ukraine? Come on, Sasha, come here. That's what I thought. She's like, no, I'm camera shy. Anyway, as you can see, like, from the last time that we talked about this, there have been far more strikes along this perimeter than there were in the past. So these strikes indicate that, there's going to be something like a summer offensive. Now, it's getting a lot warmer. The climate in Ukraine and Siberia, it goes from freezing temperatures to like blistering winters. It's fucking ridiculous. So it makes sense that they would start doing this as their soldiers are like, okay, well, I can get up earlier, and I don't have to be huddled in a fucking jacket, and I don't have to have my ass pad on me, in order to just sit down, on the permafrost. So they're going to be launching a lot more offensives as time goes on, and excuse me, as we've seen in all right. Jesus fucking Christ. If he can keep the actual, Mm-hmm. 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 And here's another one. I can't even see what that is. Okay. Basically, as we've seen before, basically the Russian objective is to encircle an area and then just collapse in on it. And this is the same thing that they did in World War II. Even with the Battle of Stalingrad, with what was it, Operation Barbarossa, where the Germans went in to went from Europe into Russia. What happened was the Russians just encircled them, and there's actual video of these of the Russians like meeting each other and be like, oh yeah, this is awesome, because all they had to do was fire in towards the circle, and there was nothing that the Germans could do. There was no way for them to get out, and they knew that they knew at that time that there was no way to get out. So it seems like the Russians are trying to do the exact same thing, and it makes sense because a lot of the tactics that the Germans the Soviets are using. Jesus Christ. The Russians are using come from Soviet tactics. And that includes the generals being on the ground, them not having the proper training, them sending wave after wave of soldiers. So I feel like in this instance, it's gonna fail. They're going to fail, but they're going to succeed in proving that they could, if that makes sense. They just could have done a whole hell of a lot better, and there's no one there. The only people like in the Western world saying that, the Russians are gonna fucking overrun this shit, are the same people that are like, you know what, Donald Trump is never gonna get indicted. Yeah, he's never gonna be X, Y, or Z. He like the blankety blank blank. Shut the fuck up. The Russians are going to get fucked on this one. They've already lost nearly half of the people that they are currently training to go back, or mobilizing to go back into Ukraine. So what does that tell you? And a lot of the people that like to say, oh yeah, well they'll keep. You don't understand. 300,000 people being mobilized doesn't mean 300,000 infantrymen walking across the border just firing at everything that moves. It means 300,000 people that have to be technicians, that have to be, skilled in like artillery and radar and running trucks everywhere. And there was a time in the U.S. military, it was well before I joined, it was actually like $80,000 was the bonus that was being given out to truck drivers, because it was the most dangerous job. Because the insurgents knew that, you're driving a truck, you're driving supplies. If we fuck up this MSR, main supply route, and then while you're on it, and then ambush all of you and kill you, who gives a fuck? Like, that means that those MREs or that fuel or that ammunition isn't getting to its destination. And the Russians actually fucking know that. But so do the Ukrainians. So it's a whole ass confuction, and there's no, the only solution to this is for Russia to just give up. I swear, if Putin just dies, if Putin just keels over and it's like, oh shit, he died in his sleep, I guarantee you this war will end. They'll be like, alright, we're gonna pull everybody out. Fuck it. It was Putin's war. They're gonna slap it on and be like, big old sticker. This was Putin's war. Now, speaking of war, we have some things to watch. Alright. Now, I got a couple shorts here for you to kind of explain where I'm coming from. I don't know why I did that one first.
You know that big Russian offensive that could end the war in Ukraine? It's happening right now, and has been for a couple weeks. That's according to Russia analyst Michael Kaufman, who put out a long thread on Twitter on top of a podcast he did with War on the Rocks yesterday. Kaufman says that this offensive is taking the form of multiple attacks all across the Donbass. The location of those fights are Volodar, Marinka, Avdiivka, Bakhmut, and Crimea. Moving south to north, Russia has taken some territory around Volodar at what appears to be a pretty heavy cost. There's not much movement around Marinka or Avdiivka, and there really hasn't been for a few months. Kaufman says there's a growing likelihood that Ukraine will have to withdraw from Bakhmut to more defensible lines to the west. And finally, around Crimea, he says that Russia is making incremental gains. He said that Russia may be holding some reserves to exploit a breakthrough on the battlefield, but in terms of manpower, this is the Russian mobilized army, at least for now.
Yeah, this is the Russian mobilized army. For now. I mean, it makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. I hope... yes, I know I'm viewing older messages. Let's see. I have a counter to this. Hold on, Sweet Pea. There we go.
Russia mobilized their reserves. Will this help Russia? I think it will, and it's something for Ukraine to be concerned about. Russian basic training lasts for 6 weeks. Then you are sent to your job school for a few months, unless you already possess a useful technical skill. Note that many young men enter military service with some military exposure from school sports programs where military topics are taught. Russia certainly has enough small arms, steel helmets, and chest rigs in storage to equip 300,000 soldiers, although uniforms and boots might be a problem. The clothing manufacturing capacity just isn't there. So we may see older uniforms, simplified uniforms, or outsourcing uniform manufacturing to South America. Body armor will definitely be an issue for Russia. America had trouble manufacturing enough armor during Iraq, and the problem took years to fix. Training time will be reduced for these new Russian soldiers because Russia needs these troops now, not 6 months from now. The biggest issue for Russia is that these new soldiers will create a greater logistical footprint. So they're eating just as much but won't fight as well. Ukraine's army still has the advantage of experience that these new soldiers can only get by attrition. Russia mobile.
So that kind of explains it. Oh no, that's fine. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to close that out. But there's
Russia mobilized their reserves.
Yeah. So Russia, all of these reserve troops, you can't just pull somebody out of an office, out of a cubicle, and be like, hey, give them a gun and a uniform, and be like, hey, you're gonna be a soldier now. It's not like Call of Duty. You're not gonna just be, okay, all of a sudden I know how to do this. A lot of people just don't know what the fuck to do, especially in a combat situation. So people don't know how to handle combat situations. They don't know how to handle stress. They don't know how to, like, move through a trench, dig a trench, live in a trench. They don't know how to, get supplies from one place to another. But you need those people to be able to do that, so you have to train them on the ability to do that, and you have to clothe and feed them. This is something that I brought up in my earlier stream about an army marches on its stomach. You have to be able to feed them. If you can't feed them, they're going to get pissed off. I have seen more than one soldier, more than 10 soldiers get pissed off over the fact that they were going to miss a meal. A single meal. And this was in the United States Army. Trust me, people will get pissed off if they don't have their food. I get fucking hangry. I get pissed off. Like, I should have ordered more pizza tonight. But I didn't, because I'm probably going to do it tomorrow because I have way too much pizza. I still have few slices of pizza. Anyway, long story short, you have to be able to actually provide for those people. And that means the basics: food, clothing, shelter, training. And if it, like, imagine the stupidest person you know, even if that's me. Imagine the dumbest, stupidest piece of shit you know, and all of a sudden that motherfucker is in a trench next to you, and you're firing boom, 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 boom. That motherfucker's right next to you. He just got, like, he's in his civilian clothes, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, I'm here to fight. Do you give him a helmet and a weapon and you tell him to shoot that way? What the fuck do you think he's gonna do? He's not comfortable in that helmet. He's not comfortable with that weapon. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Yeah, shoot the enemy. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm doing? I got cheek to stock and I'm actually looking down the fucking barrel. Because I've been trained on that. You know what he would do? Spray and pray. Which actually kind of leads us into our next video. Now this video, we're not going to watch live. But I am going to show you. Hang on one smackin'. What? Oh, that's not the one. So, why can't I just fucking copy it? God damn, this is stupid ass shit. All right, I'm gonna break this one down, but I'm gonna give it to Mango, and she can put it in the chat. I know, Sweet Pea. Are those dogs next door? Are they taking a dump in their own yard? They are. They're taking a dump in their own yard. Oh my god. Oh my god. How could they do such a thing? How could they? So this one's extremely graphic. Mango's gonna post it in the chat. I hope so. And I'm gonna draw it out for you. So. Too easy. Oh no. Did you eat my other pen? Where'd my other pen go? Oh. All right. So if you want to watch that, please go watch it. It's going to be right there. It's a Funker 530 video. It is extremely graphic. Yes, you are going to see people die. However, common space. Here is what I'm talking about. There we go. Oh, damn it. So, what happens in the video, if you watch this, is you have a Russian soldier right here. That's our Russian soldier. He sneaks into the trench and gets to the point that these two soldiers are actually occupying. And what they're doing, they're trying to hold off an offensive. So you have, you know, rounds coming in from all regions, and you have other soldiers over here, other soldiers coming in over here. So he sneaks in and actually eliminates those two soldiers, and captures a couple more. So they died valiantly. However, one of the biggest issues is that they were in a trench and they did not keep their head on a swivel, because whether you are, like, wherever you are, you have to keep your head moving around, like pow 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 pow. And if you watch the video, in that video, one of the soldiers is just actually doing the kind of spray and pray. They're just kind of, probably because they know, like, look, we're about to be overrun. This isn't going well. So you watch this video and it's pretty graphic, but in that instance, you have to keep your head on a swivel, especially when you're around a corner. And that's why working in a team is extremely important. And that's why training is extremely important. The Ukrainians do not have they don't have as much time to train as the Russians, but the Russians don't have the amount of time to train as well, nor do they have the people willing to be trained. They don't have somebody on the defense. When you're on the defense, then you have the advantage when it comes to training, because people are at least like psychologically, because people are going to be like, yeah, I want to be able to fucking fuck the enemy up. So yeah, check that out. And if you just check the link, that is something that is, yeah, it's there. Check it out. And if you would, there you go. That's how that situation went down. But we have more. Don't worry, I have a few more links. I'll do this one.
This might be the bloodiest battlefield of the war so far. This is a quick look at Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine. Pre-war, this city had a population of 70,000, which is kind of hard to imagine now. As of today, March 1st, Ukraine still holds the city of Bakhmut. Russian forces led by the Wagner Group have made quite a bit of progress to the north and south of the city and have really reduced access to the city center down to just a couple of dirt roads. But in the last 24 hours, I did see a report the Ukrainian forces are continuing to reinforce, so this fight's not over yet. This might be the bloodiest battlefield.
And this is, like, people used to live here. People were just, like, went about their day and did their thing, walking around, going to the grocery store. And now this is, if you think this is bad, think about Syria and Iraq and Fallujah. I know Fallujah is in Iraq, and Afghanistan. This is the same exact thing. This is conventional warfare. But this is actual conventional warfare. You're talking about guerrilla warfare in Iraq and Afghanistan. But there's one thing you should always consider. Is this happening in Africa? Of course it is. It's always happening. Africa is like 3 times larger in landmass than the United States of America. Shit like this happens all the time. And it's because, at least in Africa, it's because of colonialism and, same thing with the Middle East. But that's a whole different story we can get into. Just look at this. This happened within a year. We're only 1 year into this.
Field of the war so far. This is a quick look at Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine. Pre-war, this city had a population of 70,000, which is kind of hard to imagine now. As of today, March 1st, Ukraine still holds the city of Bakhmut. Russian forces led by the Wagner Group have made quite a bit of progress to the north.
And anybody that doesn't know who the Wagner Group is, Wagner Group, they're mercenaries, essentially. Like, it's just it's the same thing as Blackwater, which turned into Triple Canopy. They're mercenaries. It's just a larger military force. It's an outsourced military force. And the reason that the Russian government uses something like the Wagner Group, they use them simply because they don't have to account for losses at that point. They only have to account for loss of money. They don't have to account for a loss of soldiers. And that's a really fucked up thing if you just rattle it around your mind for a little bit. Okay. All right. So we're going to watch a couple more things and then get out of here. Come on. There we go. Jesus Christ, I didn't realize it was so big. Oops. Oh no. Oh my god. Wait, you can't see it? Okay. Chris Durham, musician channel, and Stop Economy. Too many wars on the planet. Hello. What's going on, man? Can you send me some music to play this stream out? Cause it's about to get really fucked up. I didn't realize nobody could see it, but here, I'll play it one more time. I'm trying to do this on my own.
This might be the bloodiest battlefield of the war so far. This is a quick look at Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine. Pre-war, this city had a population of 70,000, which is kind of hard to imagine now. As of today, March 1st, Ukraine still holds the city of Bakhmut. Russian forces led by the Wagner Group have made quite a bit of progress to the north and south of the city and have really reduced access to the city center down to just a couple of dirt roads. But
I mean, to be fair, there's not a whole hell of a lot to see. There's nothing left. All of the fighting, all of the artillery, all of the, what's there? Did I show you anything? Or did I show you something? Like, it's the kind of thing that grinds my teeth at night.
But in the last 24 hours, I did see a report. The Ukrainian forces are continuing to reinforce, so this fight's not over yet. This might be the bloodiest battlefield.
And this is the area in this is the area within we were talking about in the live UA map. This is where it is. This is where they're surrounding. This is where the Ukrainians are still trying to fight in and get out of. So just take that in. Just drink it in. It's not, there's not a lot there. And don't worry, we're gonna get into the graphic stuff in just a little bit. So here you go.
Of the war so far. This is a quick look at Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine. Pre-war, this city had a population of 70,000, which is kind of hard to imagine now. As of today, March 1st, Ukraine still holds.
I mean, you still use YouTube, Chris Durham. But thank you for being here. I don't want music about the horrors of war. I just... How about some juxtaposition? How does that sound?
Of Bakhmut. Russian forces led by the Wagner Group have made quite a bit of progress to the north and south of the city and have really reduced access to the city center down to just a couple of dirt roads. But in the last 24 hours, I did see a report. The Ukrainian forces are continuing to reinforce, so this fight's not over yet. This might be the
So we're gonna start with this. We're gonna ease into it. So this is a video from obviously the tale of a Bayraktar drone. Bayraktar. And you can see a Russian jet. Just watch what happens and I'll explain it. And I'll, like, okay, the reason the fins look like the propeller looks floppy is simply due to frame rate. So watch this. So it's got to correct itself. It's not doing so hot. Still trying to correct itself. Goes back. Are those other dogs next door taking a dump? I was wondering why she came in here smacking her head around. So the reason this this drone did that is simply because, like, and the reason the jet did that is like, oh shit, I see a drone out at my I don't know, starboards. I wasn't in the fucking Air Force. I wasn't smart enough. But so they see the drone, they're like, "Oh fuck. I know what to do." And this jet literally used the atmosphere. And if you watch the jet, what it does at the very beginning, I'm not gonna play the music. Watch this. The flight pattern that it takes is it actually comes through. Sasha, I know they're taking a shit. You don't even poop in that yard. What it does is it comes through and it pushes the air towards that drone, so it has to compensate for all of the turbulence, and then that drone actually gets messed up, and the drone pilot has they have a certain amount of delay in order to compensate for, you know, the correcting that drone. And that's... Hey! They're taking a dump. They're pooping. You love poop. You love poop. Do you want to be on camera or do you want to bark? Do you want to be on camera or do you want to bark? Yeah, you're contemplating that shit. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Sorry, all of the things are happening. Don't you start barking at them. I see that tail wagging. Go find your bone. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, what I was saying is the jet saw the drone and it just basically made it really hard for that drone to stay on its target. And the Bayraktar drone, as we know, has been successful in bombing. It's a bombing drone. It's not a kamikaze drone where it just like slams into a target. Don't you fucking start. But it that jet basically made turbulence for that drone in the air and actually like made it harder for it to do what it's needed to do. Now the jet, I don't know why it didn't shoot down the drone. Maybe it doesn't have maybe they didn't have the armaments for it, or it wasn't in the proper area or something like that. Maybe it was just like a training drone. Maybe they were trying to just see what they could do. But that drone did not, I mean, it survived. However, it was obviously not in the right place at the end. All right, let's go on to the next one. So I apologize. These are going to get more graphic. As we go through them. Okay, never mind. Not that one. All right, so if you've ever thought about being a contractor, or if you think that, oh, well, you joined as an engineer, this is what engineers go through. Yeah. Fortunately, he survived. However, common space, you have to understand that this individual, like, he's not in an armored vehicle. He's digging a trench. He was just paid to dig a trench. And someone said, well, I'm going to pay you to fuck him up because, well, he's digging a trench on our territory. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be that guy. Like, he got very lucky because they could have just dropped it straight through that window. And if you analyze it a little bit more, the fact that they're using this type of excavator, because the type of excavator that we use in the U.S. military, they're armored. They're actually armored because of these things. So you can dig a trench. You have an armored bulldozer. You have an armored excavator. You have, armored X, Y, or Z. The same thing that you would see paving the road, except with steel armor on it. And they're just using a bright yellow, basically looks like a caterpillar, taking out the dirt. And this dude did the smart thing. As soon as that thing went off, he fucking dipped. He was just like, nope. He noped the fuck out of there. Right? Let's see. Jet wash. Okay. All right. So, For those of you that have stuck around, we're gonna get into the graphic content. Now, this is the kind of shit that's probably gonna get me a strike. So when you're using frag grenades, you throw them. I mean, these are weapons. They're designed to kill people. I don't want you to look at the don't look at the title or the URL. But I want you to understand that this is the reality of war. So if you have an issue with this, dip out. Don't even watch. But if you're gonna watch, go ahead and watch. And if the URL is right there. If you're like, whoa, this is too much on YouTube, go watch it. It'll be posted. I'll give it to Mango, and she can post it in the chat, and you guys can watch it. Because the last one, if this is a little too much, then the last one's going to be a lot too much. So what you're seeing here is actually trench warfare. This is a Russian trench. Ukrainian soldiers are in the trench, and they're, in a trench line, you're going to have like little bunkers and everything like that, so that people can, have somewhere to sleep and eat and do things. And well, these Ukrainians actually storm this trench, just like we saw in the other one that I didn't show. They were in the trench line, and there's a place for people to see. Jesus fucking Christ, this gets fucking brutal. But they're doing what soldiers do. They're throwing grenades into the darkest area, wherever the cover is. You want to throw grenades in there. You want to actually get rid of them. And this is a lot less brutal than it says. No, I didn't take off the audio. But when it comes to areas like this, yeah, you want to clear it out. You want to especially throw grenades in there. And at the very least, you're gonna rock your enemy, and they're gonna be like deaf and blind and debilitated, so that when they pull up their rifle, the only thing they're gonna see is you shooting at them when you assault. I back? Oh, it's because I moved my microphone. The fucking thing slipped out. Did it? Am I back? Let me know. There you are. Alright, too easy. Alright, so I'm going to show you a little bit of the reality of war. But this is something that is very, very common. If you're prepared for it, please watch. If you're not prepared for it, find a different job. But this is a very common wound. On the battlefield, it's called a sucking chest wound. So you're going to see this is an educational video of Ukrainian medics treating a sucking chest wound. And for those of you that don't know what a sucking chest wound is, here you go. Sucking chest wound, it occurs when injuries penetrate the thorax and inhalation results in air entering the pleural cavity. Oh, Jesus. When documented in the... Really? Basically, what happens is you get hit in the chest and your lung is trying to inflate, and then when you breathe out, it sucks back in. It sucks air back in. So if you have tension pneumothorax, which is a collapsed lung, this is kind of along the same lines. And when that collapsed lung isn't actually like taking in any air, it's because there's air in the cavity of your lung. So when you actually breathe in, if you take a deep breath in, there's no actual air in that cavity. Like it's a vacuum. And that's why your lung is able to expand. If you just breathe normally, it's just the atmospheric pressure coming into your mouth, like coming into your lungs and expanding into your chest cavity. Your chest cavity has a sort of vacuum in it, and when that gets penetrated, that's when your lung just collapses and turns in on itself, because your lung isn't just like it's not like just like a sack that's just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna be a big old like a vacuum bag. You have these things called alveoli that are full of blood vessels, and that's what takes the oxygen into your body. And then when you breathe out, though, they actually transfer out all of that carbon dioxide. So they take in the atmospheric air, and then they breathe out the carbon dioxide. And that's on a side note, that's actually how you lose a lot of your weight, like your fat, is by breathing, not by running. No, that's not. But by breathing, if you breathe out a lot more, you're breathing out the carbon dioxide, and the carbon comes from the fat that you have in your body. So just keep that in mind. It's not in sweat. But if this happens to you, well, thankfully these guys are around. This is going to be graphic. Warning. So what happens? Sitting in a trench. And that's an artillery shell.
Ти чуєш мій голос?
So that was an artillery shell. Might have been a mortar shell. It actually kind of looked more like a mortar shell, but the thing about a mortar shell is that when it lands, it's not about the explosion up, it's about the shrapnel out. So that's what they're designed to do. The shrapnel just goes fucking everywhere, and it's razor sharp, red hot, and it will get into you regardless because it's flying at the same speed as a bullet.
Шахта.
Не могу дышать, не могу дышать.
Плавно дихай.
Не могу. Дышать не могу.
Ласун.
Ти вже
Один фрагмент нашої роботи.
Тепер нас забирають.
Плавно.
So he's screaming because he's in pain. But they put this, these medics are fucking dope. They put this blanket on him. This aluminum blanket. And this blanket is designed to keep the heat inside of, like, keep the heat in you. So when that aluminum blanket gets on you, let me see if I can. I know, he's screaming.
Один фрагмент нашої роботи.
Тепер нас.
So when that aluminum blanket is on you, if a firefighter or an EMT or anybody comes up to you when you're hypothermic, that they give you that blanket and they'll put it on you. And that's why you, if you ever like grew up in the 90s and you saw like these emergency videos where there's someone sitting in a blanket and they have a cup of coffee or whatever, they're giving you something to keep you warm because you exert a lot of energy and you get rid of a lot of heat just out of like being there. Plus he's on the ground, and now he's on a sked, but I'll get into that in a second. He's on the ground, so you're going to give away a lot of heat. So they put that aluminum blanket on him. Now, one of the biggest things is, now they've been hit, so he needs to have, they need to make sure that he's not a target. And I don't know if there's a way to camouflage this, but there might be a better way, because there could be a target, but that at the same time they seem pretty calm.
Плавно. Подивіться.
And you'll see, and as you see, he's this medic is trying to. He's basically, when he does that, he's trying to push air back into that cavity to like or suck the air out of the cavity in order to make sure that it inflates, like his lung can inflate. And if you look at this guy's, look at the difference between these two. They're in the same sunlight. He's pretty tan. This guy hadn't seen the beach in fucking 50 years. He's lost a lot of blood to his face. He is almost bleeding out.
Це наш найкрутіший медик.
О, бачиш, друг?
О, задихав. Красава.
Ти головне дихай, друже, повільно.
Вже можеш, вже можеш. Тобі відкрили легені, вон, бачиш?
So he's about to put a inclusive dressing on him.
Ты просто супергерой. Я все правильно сделал. Я заклеил 2 дырки. Воздух не выходит. Поставил иглу.
Дай водички, теж попів.
One of the most amazing things about this is you can still hear the artillery rounds going on. These medics are just like, yeah, oh, can I get some water? This is fucking wild. Holy shit. This medic has a knife on him for, you know, many reasons.
Де? Де тут? 150 метрів. Туди? Так.
Так, друзі. Не те, що щодня, а майже щодня.
Alright. So, and as you can see, on this medic, he has... Shut the fuck up. He has actually 2 different... He has 2 tourniquets on him. So, he actually has 2 tourniquets on him. So, he's in some shit. And they don't give a fuck. They don't actually give a fuck. Because they're, you know... If you want to think back to, like, Hollywood Saving Private Ryan, you remember the medic was just there. He's like, oh, fuck. He's like, I stopped the bleeding. I stopped the bleeding. And then the dude gets shot in the head. And he goes, fuck. Imagine what these guys are going through right now. It's the same thing. And yes, this is real. This is all happening. So they have him on a sked.
Такі у нас круті воїни.
A sked is essentially just a...
Він майже задихнувся. Офігенні медики. Геройські воїни. Красава, друже. Ти красава. І всі, хто винесли, евакуювали по таким полям.
So a sked is essentially just like a stretcher. So you put them on it's stretcher sled. So you put them on there, you strap them in, and they like hold their bandages in, and it can take one person to strap it around their body and be able to actually like hold a weapon as well, or move in a squad, and you can move along while carrying your your wounded buddy to a casualty collection point, or to a medevac or something like that. And the skeds are, I've never used them. I've used them in training, but look, it's not a sled. Imagine going down a slope on a sled, but it ain't the slope you wanted. There's rocks, like everybody else took, like, dude, it's not fun. So, but at the same time, a litter actually takes 2 to 4 people to carry someone. So if someone gets shot, let's say someone gets shot in the fucking neck. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, I'm fucked up. And you bandage them up. And then it's like, oh fuck, we gotta get this guy on the helicopter, on the medevac. But there's only 2 of you. That can be a bitch. If there's 4 of you, that means 4 of you are out of the fight. It's just a thin. Alright? A thin. For those of you in the South or whatever, the Northeast.
Я зараз покажу от по таким.
And they're doing all of this in the mud while artillery shells are just dropping around them.
Немає можливості все це показати, але
I have no opportunity to film such scene, but this time I was lucky enough.
Зараз один з наших героїв.
That means that basically usually his patients die. Or he's not able to actually, like, he has to, like, pull them off of the battlefield and then get them to a medevac.
Чекаємо на евакуацію. І все буде добре. Обов'язково переможемо.
It's a beautiful sunrise, by the way. We found 10 hours ago that he survived. So this man survived. Thank goodness. You know, whether he were, you know, Russian or Ukrainian, it doesn't matter. He survived. He survived the war. This war needs to stop. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. But all right. And I've got one more. No, not that one. Okay. I was gonna say, I know I had that one. So we're gonna check something out real quick before we even start. The guy on the on camera on the body cam has a bracelet, something I used to wear. Mine kept breaking. It's for somebody that died on deployment or was killed on deployment. This is going to be graphic, however, comma space. I'm going to tell you exactly how home this hits. Because this is exactly how a team should work. Whether you like the cops or not, whether you agree with this or not, this is a breakdown of the situation, this current situation. So, keep that in mind. It is going to be graphic.
What are you saying?
Right here, you got it.
7-9 Baker, bring the flag down on disturbance. Shots fired!
I need a tourniquet now.
I have an officer hit in the leg. Give me cars here, code 10. Trav, I got you.
Watch out. He's moving still. 79 Baker, short ambulance, code 10, hit in the leg.
Step up. Lift your foot up, bud. I got you, dude. You're okay.
79 Baker, he's going to be in the 500 block, right in front of a silver Jeep. He's still moving. My partner's putting my tourniquet on right now, so I'm not able to get him into custody yet. Mark this time for tourniquet time. The black male, he apparently just robbed at the 7-Eleven. He still has
Get
the
down.
cash register in hand.
I got him. Get down. Back. Get back.
I'm not.
Now, listen to his partner, the one he told, hey, get back.
I'm not leaving this guy, dude.
I've got him, Trav. We're facing eastbound. Our line of fire is eastbound.
You're going to see a police guard come up here and block off traffic.
You good, man?
I'm good.
That hurt?
What's that?
That hurt quite a bit.
I bet it did.
You guys ready to move up? Blanche!
Blanche! Hey, Trev, let them handle it. Just stay back, dude. Sit down. Dude, I got too much crossfire.
So at this point, you gotta kind of understand. Look, yeah, they shot an armed robber. One of the officers was shot in the leg, and the other officer ran up, and his immediate response was, "Oh shit, I gotta put on a tourniquet." Too easy. If you get shot in the leg, if you get hit in the leg or whatever, immediately put on a tourniquet. I still have tourniquets in my car. I got a seatbelt cutter in my car, simply because it's the main thing you have to do. Whether or not he's gonna bleed out, like it didn't seem like he was, but we never know. The other officer, Trav is what he's calling. He's like, "Hey, Trav, chill. Sit back." Honestly, I feel I identify with fucking both of these people, but I identify with a lot more Trav. I'm just like, no, fuck you. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get into this situation. We're about to fuck somebody up. Now, an armed robbery, we can debate that till the cows come home on a different stream. Totally fine. But this officer, and you're gonna see the other officer's body cam here in a little bit. This officer is just like, "Hey, look, I'm trying to keep you safe. I'm trying to keep everybody else safe." And they're calling in, "Hey, I'm firing eastbound." You know, he put a tourniquet on his friend, on his battle buddy. He was just like, the first thing he said was like, "Oh shit, I'm hit." And he said, "Okay, well, I'm putting a tourniquet on it." Put the fucking tourniquet on it. That's the exact thing to do. It's so fucked up to say, but I think everyone should actually keep a tourniquet in their car. Not because, you might get shot, however, comma space, you might get shot, but you might get into a car accident, and if you can put a tourniquet on your leg or your arm or anything, and you know how to use it, you should put it there. And if you think you can't put a tourniquet on yourself, on your own arm, you can. You can. Trust me. You can. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay, that's the police car.
Blanche, you guys got him?
Blocking off.
Do you have him?
So he's running back.
I just caught there's one on the way.
How's that tourniquet holding?
So, here's the thing. I can ACAB all fucking day. But you have to understand, this is a lot of what police go through. He has a tourniquet on his leg, and the first thing that he does is run over because this woman got hit in the crossfire. She's been shot as well. What should his action be? Of course, put a tourniquet on her, but where has she been shot? And he's in shock. He's actually like starting to go through the stages of shock as well. So he doesn't actually know what to do, which is totally understandable. When you go through shock, you don't know what the fuck to do. You're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna do what my brain is actually telling me to do. And the officer filming doesn't actually have another tourniquet. So he says, take pressure.
Can you get away?
No. Travis, go sit down.
I'm good, man.
I know you're good. Sit the fuck down.
And did you see how ready he was? He didn't even like look for his weapon. He was just sort of like, he's in shock. He needs to go and sit down. He needs medical attention as much as she needs medical attention. The fact that she got shot is not does not take away from the fact that he also got shot. Okay, and him getting shot does not take away from the fact that she got shot. Like, somebody's gonna, obviously somebody's gonna have to pay for this, clearly, but at the same time, we need to worry about the immediate. This woman needs treatment. So this is the
Show it.
Shots fired! I'm hit. I need a tourniquet now.
I have an officer hit in the leg. Give me cars here, code 10. Trav, I got you.
Watch out. You see stuff? He's moving still. 79 Baker, start ambulance code 10. I'm hitting the leg.
Step up. Lift your foot up, bud. I got you, dude. You're okay.
79 Baker, he's going to be in the 500 block, right in front of a silver Jeep. He's still moving. My partner's putting my tourniquet on right now, so I'm not able to get him into custody yet. Mark this time for tourniquet time.
So now let's rewind that for just a second.
Hold tight pressure, okay?
Can you get away?
No. Trav, go sit down.
I'm good, man.
I know you're good. Sit the fuck down.
And that's exactly how I would be. I'm good, man. I'm good. I got this. Dude, you've been shot. I got this. Don't worry. Fucking you just got shot in the fucking face. I got this. Don't worry. Like, we're a team. Some shit went down. But let's analyze this next part.
Show it! Shots fired! I'm hit. I need a tourniquet now.
I have an officer hit in the leg. Give me cars here, code 10. Trav, I got you.
Watch out. You see stuff? He's moving still. 79 Baker.
So, one of the things that actually kind of gets away from me is whether or not... So, they were called to an armed robbery. Did he show a weapon to these officers? Did he actually point his weapon at these officers? Did he point a weapon at these officers? Did he point a weapon at these officers? Did he point a weapon at these officers? That's the fucking issue. Because these guys just opened fire. Now, obviously, like, they were called to an armed robbery. We understand that. So if he pointed a weapon, if he actually pointed a weapon, then I think any American in the audience would be like, yeah, you point a weapon at me, you're going to get shot. Or you're going to get your ass beat. There's no fucking way you're pointing a weapon at me. Like, too easy. Especially if you're a police officer, they're not taking the chance. The people hate the police. So if you point a weapon, yeah, I wouldn't say anything about it. But this body cam footage doesn't actually, I don't know, it doesn't prove whether or not he pointed the weapon at him. And this dude unloaded, which is standard practice. So when somebody points a weapon at you, or in infantry terms, there's something called the mad minute. So somebody, like, you start getting shot at, you just fucking unload. Boom, 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 boom. And you see that police officer just boom, 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 boom. And then pop a new mag in, and he starts fucking pointing his weapon at him. So it's understandable that, the dude might be dead. However, this is, I think one of the main takeaways is the fact that the dude that got shot is just like, I need to go help people. And that's something that I don't think we give to the police enough. As fucked up as it may be in some people's minds, but I don't think we give this guy enough credit for, hey, look, I just want to help people. Yeah. He's basically an anti-hero. That's it. So
Start ambulance code 10, I'm hitting the leg.
Step up. Put your foot up, bud.
I got you, dude. You're okay.
79 Baker, he's gonna...
by the way, all police officers, every single one of them, regardless of who they are, it doesn't matter what jurisdiction, every single one of them should have a fucking body cam. Every single one of them. One that cannot be turned off. It should be recording the moment it goes on their body. I will say that till my fucking heart stops. Go ahead.
Gonna be in the 500 block, right in front of a silver Jeep. He's still moving. My partner's putting my tourniquet on right now, so I'm not able to get him into custody yet. Mark this time for tourniquet time.
Oh no. And for those of you thinking about, like, what do you mean tourniquet time? So tourniquet time, when somebody actually gets, like, wounded and you put a tourniquet on them, it stops the blood flow to that area of the body. In the military, you're taught to mark their forehead with either a marker, if you have it, or their own blood with the time that you put the tourniquet on. So let's say it's I get shot in the leg and the shoulder. I'm like, oh fuck, no. I fucking fall to the ground, and somebody puts a tourniquet on me and then a bandage on my shoulder. When they put that tourniquet on me, they're supposed to take my blood and actually put like T, 2330 or whatever it might be. That's when that's when the tourniquet went on, because you have about 2 hours until that limb is dead and it has to be amputated. That's why they do it. What's really fucking scary about this is the fact that these are police on the streets of fucking the United States of America. This is fucking terrifying. And they know tourniquet time. And this motherfucker, like, well, he definitely shot at him. So my demonstration kind of went through the fucking roof. But this guy, what does he do? He just wants to go help. Sometimes the police are just there to help you. The problem is that most of the time the police want to help you, but they can't. And they have to do their job at the same time. He's going into shock. As we know, we've already seen this. He's going into shock.
Can you get away?
No. Trav, go sit down.
I'm good, man.
I know you're good. Sit the fuck down. Show it.
What's really fucked up is that he shows up and he starts shooting, but he gets hit at the same time. I don't know. And there's all these people around.
Shots fired!
There's no, hey, he's got a gun. There's no, hey, drop it. There's no warning. I don't know.
Fired!
I'm hit. I need a tourniquet now.
I have an officer hit in the leg. Give me cars here, code 10.
Drops it.
Trav, I got you.
Watch out. You see stuff? He's moving still. 79 Baker, start ambulance, code 10. I'm hitting the leg.
Step up. Put your foot up.
He's a fucking trooper.
I got you, dude. You're okay.
79 Baker, he's going to be in the 500 block, right in front of a silver Jeep. He's still moving. My partner's putting my tourniquet on right now, so I'm not able to get him into custody yet. Mark this time for tourniquet time. It's a black male. He apparently just robbed the 7-Eleven. He still has the cash register in hand.
I got it. Get down.
Okay.
Back.
I'm good. I'm not leaving this guy, dude.
I've got him, Trav.
Stole a whole ass cash register and still shot you? Guess we know who's the better shot.
We're facing eastbound. Our line of fire is eastbound.
People are just driving by.
You good, man?
I'm good.
Okay. That hurt.
What's that?
That hurt quite a bit.
I bet it did.
You guys ready to move up? Blanche!
Here, Trav, let them handle it. Just stay back, dude. Sit down.
So that's good team leader. And you know what? This
What's
this
that?
guy's a good person.
You guys got shot? Your mom got shot? Where'd you get shot, ma'am?
Right here.
Okay, hold pressure, okay?
Yes, I'm
Hold
talking
pressure,
to
okay?
officer
I'm
right
shot too, so. You guys are all okay though?
now. Yeah.
Okay.
There's one on the way.
And that's what's called being a good person. That's what humanity is about. Like, yeah, did he shoot somebody and kill them? Sure. But the moment he heard, hey, somebody else is in trouble, he ran over and he was like, oh shit, somebody else is in trouble. I have to help. This dude could be bleeding out. That tourniquet could not be on right. This is the kind of policing that we need. The kind of people that we need in policing.
79 Baker, we're gonna need another ambulance, code 10. We got a bystander shot as well in the leg.
And then there we go. There's this fuckface. Bro, you have a whole ass first aid kit in your car, in your patrol vehicle. Go do something. Go fucking do something. Go do something. This is why people hate police. Shit. You are the reason.
It's fine, I think. All right, hold tight pressure, okay?
It's like, oh, it's not my job. That's for the fucking EMS. That video pissed me off a lot more than it did last night when I watched it. Ooh, excuse me. But that all being said, that's kind of the state of Ukraine. I know a lot of you are probably watching, you know, Shani and Rev and all that good shit, but that's... Do I have something? Do I have something? Did you ask? You didn't ask. But I have something. I got a kitty cat. Look at that kitty cat. Sweetheart. But anyway, I also have this.
When ammunition is no longer useful, it cannot simply
I'll
be
see you guys
thrown out.
later.
The 797th Ordnance
Appreciate
Company Explosive Ordnance Disposal held a Code H or disposal range in order to properly dispatch some of these volatile assets.
Got over 15,000 pounds of net explosive weight of Code H ordnance items and munitions. So makes for over 100 different dodics, so different types of rounds that we're getting rid of, and over 27,000 individual rounds that we're going to be blowing up today.
The extensive amount of munitions all branches to get hands-on training with each other and work with personnel they may not often see.
It's good to have joint service training. It's good to get together because, as you know, we have EOD. It's all 4 branches. We have Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force out here. So it's good to get in with your brothers and sisters and see how they operate because each branch does something a little bit different here and there. So it's good to pick up on different TTPs or SOPs that they do, and we learn from one another.
It's just a matter of coordination. Obviously, you can see that it takes a lot of hands on deck, especially for a shot this size. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of different coordination that goes into actually this one big shot.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
For the 371st Sustainment Brigade, I'm Army Sergeant Dylan Grace, Camp Beering, Kuwait. ammunition is no longer useful, it
God damn it. I can't find the thing. All right, there it is. Don't the video capture device. I really actually need that. Fun fact. This part. Come on. No, not there. Not that one. Right before that. This one where it's black, and I've said this before. I literally just put the lens cap on my camera and asked a friend of mine to yell "fire in the hole" in 3 different directions. And then spliced it together into this masterpiece. By the way,
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
For the 371st Sustainment Brigade, I'm Army Sergeant Dylan Grace, Camp Beering, Kuwait.
yes. And we were pretty far away, and those berms, these are about 10 feet high. If I were to guess, they were about 10 feet high because we were pretty close to them. Yeah. This was a very big explosion. It was also really fucking cool to see.
When
I got
ammunition is
Taco
no longer
Bell
useful,
afterwards.
it cannot simply be thrown out.
That's true. Sergeant Dylan Grace. That's me. Hey. Well, that was me. Well, it makes it look like shooting stars. Can I get to that same point?
For Sustainment Brigade, I'm Army Sergeant Dylan Grace, Camp Beering, Kuwait.
That's kind of because well, that's incendiary ammunition that's supposed to be used on people. So I'll let you go to bed with that one. That was a lot of arms. That was the largest Dodic that they did. It was 15,000 pounds of ammunition that they exploded, that they destroyed. Because you can't actually save it. I mean, it's all in the fucking story. You can find it on good god damn it. Get it together. I'm trying to get it together. Don't you look. I am as together as the planks on the house shark house. So everybody, I'll see you later. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate this. Please support the people